We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. On the return, it's Symbol Webster. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
L.A. readies for its next possession. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and broaden this margin too.
He'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
LA Rams.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A very solid gain of 27.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big plays.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And 7.
On 3rd down, Cummings to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
For the Rams field goal, a 36-yard attempt.
Well, this one's knuckling, and it just does get over the crossbar. He didn't get much of it, but he got it to go. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener. From the shotgun, it's Prescott to the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. He's at the 30 and all the way down to the 22-yard line.
Prescott.
A big play here for Dallas. 48 yards.
A gain of 48.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. Mayshawn Robinson there on the stop.
The ball carrier.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Ezekiel Elliott.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back in the 24.
I'm shaking my head and chuckling a little bit now, although it's not funny for anyone trying to block Aaron Donald. But you know, all week long, they say to themselves, don't give up any sacks. And they just gave up one there. They double team him, they triple team him, they try to isolate and make sure that Aaron Donald can't get to their quarterback. And he always seems to find a way. He's not just a physical presence, he plays a game with a great football IQ.
So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point, or in this case, a field goal.
Webster on the return. The Rams take over 1st and 10.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down.
Lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he's going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they're going to try back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step, because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Boys 3.